Howdy, internet. Okay, so this one is just me talking at the internet. Hi, internet. So if you're here for condensed YouTube nuggets, move along. This is not the video for you. This is for the folks that are interested in what I'm thinking about and people who want to collectively raise the consciousness of the average disc golf. So this is just a signal boost for a video that I found that just popped up YouTube algorithm for me. It's from 2 years ago. Let that sink in. This information is 2 years old, and it still absolutely blows my mind of how cutting edge it is versus where disc golf is at. So there's like precious few people in the world that have messed around with pressure plates at all for measuring disc golf stuff. But that's been around for, I don't who even knows how long in disc golf. And so I'll just sneak peek. I am not going to use other people's videos because I don't know if they're cool with that. But this is the video. How ground forces work in golf. That would be ball golf to you, normal golf, by Dr. Scott Lynn. And this is from a channel called Be Better Golf, which is, I forget if the guy's name is Brandon or Brendan, but he is a very cool human and he has a very cool YouTube channel, and he hangs out with and talks to Dr. Kwan and this guy, Dr. Scott Lynn. And Dr. Kwan and Be Better Golf guy and to a lesser extent Mike Malaska are the most common frequent offenders of blowing my mind as far as how all this stuff works. So why am I suggesting you watch this video, which is what I'm doing? Because one, it's really cool. It is seemingly a bunch of old white dudes because it's ball golf, but that's okay. We can't really fault them for that. But the cool thing is just getting a little tiny sneak peek at the graphs of the force plate that they're using, and it's you can see the force plate in this video. It's that thing right there that probably costs more than the car that you drive. Definitely costs more than the car that I drive by a factor of like four, I think, maybe two. Anyways, they're very expensive, like 20s of thousands of dollars. And what's cool about them is they're force plates that don't just measure force, they measure force and force. So they're measuring shearing forces. So what's so cool about it is that you get three graphs. You get a graph for lateral forces, how much you're pushing the ground that way to move your hips this way to hit the thing, how much you're pushing down. And I'm not sure if this one does. I think it does. It differentiates between feet. So it knows, like, if I'm a long driver and I'm stomping, or I don't know what they do, if they do forward or backward first. But anyways, long drive guys do that to intentionally create ground forces to help them load things. It'll show you that. And the other super cool one that it shows you is it shows you torque. So in order to torque, I have to push that backwards. No, that's wrong. I have to push this. This is how complicated it is. I don't even understand how the heck shearing forces work. Let's see. If I'm moving my hip, it might change. I'm, yeah, it's weird. I would think that I'm pushing this foot backwards to push this forward, but there's a preload too. So like the graphs all look like a sine wave type of thing. Anyways, the point that I'm trying very slowly to make is that there's three separate graphs. There's lateral, there's rotational, and there's vertical. They understand that in ball golf as of 2 years ago, and I'm sure they did before. And they talk about, like, there are players who use a lot of linear drive, and that matters a bunch in their swing. I'm trying to say throw, but it's swing. Matters a bunch in their swing. And if in doing a drill they see that force go down, they're like, oh, we're not going to do that. That's not a good drill for you. Or, there might be someone who uses a lot of rotation, and that's why they're able to hit the golf ball far. So there's three different things. There's vertical force, there's horizontal force, and there's rotational force. My big takeaway from this, and the thing that I have been coaching on the most, is like, hey guys and gals, we use too much of this force. We use too much driving off the ground. Looks like this. Because there's too much drive there and it comes out here and it messes up your form. There are players who can do that very well. Not even going to mention names, you know who they are. So there's too much of that. And then there's too much rotation. I don't know why. I would really like to understand why. Given infinite time, I would do a lot more research. But a lot of players in the FPO tend to use rotation more. A lot of the players in FPO tend to be a little bit spinnier. It might just be as simple as a shoulder dominance thing. That folks with a male skeleton are more shoulder dominant. Folks without a male skeleton get more power in being rotational. I don't know why, but it seems to be a trend. What I'm trying to focus on is not lateral and not rotational, but vertical forces. My reasoning is vertical forces scale better with a run up. This is not a thing in ball golf unless you're full on Happy Gilmore mode, in which case maybe it matters, but no one is doing that. So, like, I'm suggesting folks watch this video just to have some awareness of those three different types of forces and how much they matter. Like, and we can borrow from ball golf on that because they know better than us, because they have fancier toys than us, and they've been coaching harder than we have for longer. So please go watch the video. That guy's channel is awesome. Like, you would do wonders for your disc golf understanding of mechanics if you just watched a bunch of that guy's stuff. He's really interesting. But that's the why of why I am coaching the way I'm coaching, is I'm trying to get people not even to move away from whatever style they're doing, if rotation works for them or if rear leg drive and lateral force works well for them, that's fine. You can throw however you want to. I completely support that. But there's this huge blind side, blind spot, that one, about how to get momentum down the tee pad to actually be transferred into hip torque, which is about three rails theory stuff. Go watch that video. That's mine. Yeah, so like, go check out the video. It's really cool. And just conceptualizing that there's three different ways to generate power in terms of that force plate is huge. Then another thing to realize is that in addition to that, there's like 6 or 8 other places in your body that you can generate power. And you don't have to have all of them. You just have to have 2 or maybe 3 that are really good, that are your strength, and then learn how to maximize those and make everything else just not absolutely horrible, where it's going to break your kinematic chain. And then you're off to the races and everything's good. So players like Anthony Barella, like, they kind of have all 8 in place. And my understanding of how AB throws is that he can change his form from shot to shot based on what shape he's trying to throw. So it's almost like he has, little slider bars of like, do I want more rear leg drive or more brace power or more arm power or more hip snap or more spin? And he can just adjust all those on the fly and make it work. And that's why he is next level, is because he's just able to control all of those. So contrast that with the average amateur disc golf player. We don't even know what type of power we're using: lateral drive, rotation, or vertical force. So like, let's just bring it up, have some awareness of what of those exist and what of those we're using, and then I think we'll all be a lot better off. Okay, I will stop talking now. Thank you if you made it this far. Go check out the Patreon, and good luck to you.